Hi there, here is Ivan, welcome back, happy new year to you all. Thank you for supporting me one way or another and being part of my life. Wish you all the best in the upcoming year fulfilled with a lot of accomplishments. As the first video of 2021, today I will share with you my opinion on a very interesting subject. For instance, can we make a good and solid line with a rotary machine? I know that many of you are struggling one way or another with lining, especially with the rotaries, so I decided to make this video for you. I will make this demonstration with my Stigma rotary spear, which is set up on a medium 3.5mm stroke for this tattoo. It is also with an adjustable give, which I have always on the hardest hit cause I prefer to make the softness by controlling my hand pressure. But I will discuss this stuff one more time in the video. I will share with you what are the most important things you need to know when we speak about lining with a rotary tattoo machine, and not only. Anyhow, as always, before I start I want to mention that I do have a Patreon account where I post a full-length process of the demonstrations I make for YouTube. Each video is in real time and it is between 3 and 4 hours long without voiceover. It gives you the feeling of being next to my shoulder through the whole process. You're also able to ask all your questions related to the tattoo under the video, and I'm going over each and every comment and give an in-depth answers if I can, of course. We have also a Discord chat where we share our thoughts and daily questions with another like-minded tattoo artist. It is a lot of useful information, so make sure you check it out. It helps my channel in a massive way, so if you want to support me, make sure you go to the link down in the description. Now let's go back to the lining. So the question today is it even possible to reach a good and solid line with a rotary machine? Or is it just a narrative that the new generation tattoo artists spread around? The short answer here is definitely yes. You're able to do as good line as any coil machine, if not even better. Here the right question is what we need to know about lining with the rotaries, or what we are basically doing wrong so it doesn't work. I always say that equipment is not the most important part of making tattoo, and I actually meant it all the time. The technique and experience of the artist play a major role, especially in making a good and consistent lines with the rotary. Most of the young artists nowadays start directly with the rotary machines without learning actually how it works and what the whole process behind is. The beauty to start first working with the coils is that you're actually pushed to learn and understand perfectly the structure of the tattoo machine and how it works exactly, so you can yourself tune it up later up to your need. It is way more difficult this way, but the knowledge you get is priceless. So as a first tip here, even if it's a bit controversial, is that I always encourage the young and especially beginner tattoo artists to first start with the coil machine till they start to understand those stuff, and then slowly switch to the rotaries. There are countless benefits in working this way, but as I know that not even 1% of people watching this video will actually do the stuff I'm saying right now, let's directly move to the main topic today, in fact, how to line with the rotaries. Now before we go to the technical part, we need to say that there are many different type of machines out there. We have direct drive tattoo machines, or a spinner, which basically means that the drive bar is connected directly to the motor of the machine. There are also machines with the give, which add an additional softness to the stroke and also give an extra time the needle to stay into the skin. There are also machines with an adjustable give, where you can regulate this stuff on fly, and so on and so on. I don't really want to go too much in depth in this, cause I am also not familiar with most of the technical stuff, how exactly the motor works and the whole system around, etc. I just understand the basic principle that each of you have to learn and apply to their own technique to improve their skills. The next thing that you need to know about the rotaries is that there are also different strokes, which means the exact length in millimeter that the needle is traveling. Basically, as longer the stroke is, as harder the hit is going to be. So, a longer stroke applies for a better lining and coloring, while a shorter stroke remains to be better for a smooth shading. Anyway, my point here is that there are really a lot of different variations of tattoo machines out there, so if you understand this stuff, it will help you to make an educated decision of what to buy for your needs. Now for all these different type of machines applies the same few principle that if you get those right, you will be able to adjust your technique to the different machines till you find the best one for you. Each rotary machine has a motor which is working on a particular RPM, or revolution per minute. This is basically how many rotations make this motor per 1 minute. Now imagine that each rotation make one hit to the skin in and out. If your machine is running on a lower RPM, this basically means that it will make less hits to the skin per centimeter, depending of course on your hand speed. For example, if you prefer to pull longer lines and you feel more confident in doing it a bit faster, your machine needs to work on a higher RPM, which gives you the chance to move your hand faster in order to make the same amount of hits into the skin. Remember that the RPM is regulated by the voltage. More voltage equals higher RPM and less voltage equals a lower RPM. Now here is a pretty much personal taste and mostly technique. If you prefer to work on a low voltage and to be able to build your line slowly, or if you feel more confident to pull the lines and do it from the first pass. So here it comes the next very important thing you need to focus on, and it is the hand speed. This is one of the most important things you need to know when we speak about lining in general, not only lining with the rotaries. Best way to find out how to make a perfect line is to consistently try out and experiment with those two stuff until you find the perfect voltage related to your hand speed in the particular tattoo machine you are working with. Once you feel confident with this, you will be able to make a very nice and solid lines. But there is one more thing that is as important as the hand speed, and this is the hand pressure. Now, how many of you are afraid of going too deep and cause an extra trauma to the skin? Yes, I know, but sometimes the fear is exactly what prevents you to make the perfect line. There is a place under the skin where the ink should lay in order to achieve a good line. The opposite applies too. If you push the needles way too much, you blow the line under the skin, which is even more unpleasant result because it is irreversible, happening very often, especially when we are working on places where the skin is very thin, like on the ribs for example. The pain of the client on those spots don't make it any better anyway. Different body parts and different body types of the skin need a different hand pressure to be applied. A fatter body part, for example, needs a bit more hand pressure in order to saturate a nice and solid line, while a place like the inside part of the forearm, where the skin is well stretched and thin, needs a bit less pressure. In fact, stretching the skin is also a crucial thing if you want to achieve a solid straight line. I'm actually pulling the skin with both my hands in order to reduce elasticity. I'm trying to stretch the skin always in the direction of the line I will be doing. This way I avoid shakiness, and also like this it feels more natural cause the line becomes more straight. Now some artists prefer to work with the direct drive rotaries where they have a full control of their machines only by controlling their hand pressure, and some prefer to work with the machines with GIF system, where the machine supports the artist, allowing him to be a bit more flexible in his movements. Both ways work perfectly well, you just need to apply this in your own style and realize what would be the best for you. Anyhow, let me tell you what my personal preferences are when we speak about lining with the rotary. I'm personally using a machine with an adjustable GIF, but I keep it always on the hardest point, cause I prefer to have a control of my machine all the time. I'm using medium to low voltage to my Stigma spear, around 6.4 and 6.9 volts, moving my hand slow and steady with a medium to hard hand pressure depending on the skin type and the tattoo design of course. Usually I prefer to line with a longer throw, which means that the tip of my needle is somewhere between 2.5 to 3 mm out of the tube. In this demonstration, the needles I'm using are 5 round liner and a 13 round liner from Kwadron, both on 0.30, and I can even thicken some of the bolt lines if I need to by doing several lines next to each other. On the end guys, as I always say, it is really in your hands to go and practice the stuff I speak in my videos. Try different hand speed. Experiment with the voltage and also adjust your hand pressure till you find your own perfect line. You can also subscribe to my channel if you think this might help you lining better. Like this, you will never miss any video on this topic in future. Hit the small notification bell so I will notify you always when I post a new video. Follow me also on Instagram where I'm posting almost every day, and if you want to support my channel even more, come and check my Patreon page, it is all in the description under this video. Now I wish you a good day, and if you have any other questions, please let me know.